Good day. It is Tia Torres with yet another episode of the Tia Talk podcast. So today's topic is going to be a sad one, a somber one. It affects the animal rescue world, and when, something happens, it does reflect on all of us, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but we all feel it. And this was an incident that took place last Friday, for us last Friday, July 18th. It happened in a place called Water Valley, Mississippi, which is about 5 hours north of us, at an animal rescue shelter called the Second Chance Animal Alliance. One of their longtime volunteers, his name was Clifford Phillips, 57 years old. Looking at a picture of him now, he looks so sweet, his cute little smile. He was handling a couple of dogs. Apparently one was a pit bull type dogs, and they killed him. I don't, of course, have any details, just from what I'm reading. I guess it was caught on some kind of security video. But from what I'm reading, he had put one dog in the kennel and was going to put a second dog in the same kennel. I'm not sure whether they were used to being housed together. I don't know. But anyways, the one dog in the kennel tried to, rush the gate. Clifford used his leg to hold the dog back, which we've done that. And that dog became agitated and grabbed Clifford's leg and yanked him to the ground. And then both dogs joined in and attacked him and ultimately killed him. So here's the thing. We, of course, have never had this happen, but about 25 years, 30 years ago, we did have a dog attack a worker pretty severely, really mangled her ankle. And, it was bad. Very unexpected. A young dog, actually, a pit mix. We were never able to explain what happened because this was a dog that we had for a long time, or at least long enough to get to know him. Without spending a lot of money, the vet, his assumption was maybe some kind of brain tumor that just caused this dog to just do a 180 on his temperament and go after my worker. Anyways, that doesn't, of course, compare to the loss of a life. So my heart does go out to Clifford's family, but also to Second Chance Animal Alliance, because I am sure they are taking a beating. And of course, the pit bull haters are just having a party over this. So let me explain something, and I'm going to do a little story time. Because, and I've never been one to have my head in the sand when it comes to the breed of dog that we rescue, okay? So let's just end that right there. I'm not one of these, they're all little pitties, and it's just how you raise them. I am not that person, all right? Matter of fact, I'm probably going to do a live stream on this topic, and I'm going to welcome the pit bull haters because I want to, have a conversation. Okay. Let's talk about just dog behavior really quick, and then we'll get back into the story. When I first started doing wolves and wolf dog rescue, I had a pack of wolf dogs, and I had big enclosures back in California. There were, I believe it was 3 or 4 of them together. I want to say 3. Okay? I've been around these wolf dogs for years. One day, I walked in, and I tripped over a piece of wire sticking out of the ground. When I hit the ground, those wolf dogs were on me. One grabbed a hold of my ponytail, one grabbed a hold of my shirt, and they were pulling me in 10 different directions. And, I got up and I'm yelling and I'm, get back, get back, get back. And of course, they all stopped. And then within seconds, they were like, oh, hey, hi. Okay. Now, it was natural behavior. And this is where I feel like I maybe have a one-up on a lot of these dog rescuers, because dogs come from wolves, and I started with wolves. I was literally raised by wolves, okay? And wolf dog mixes. So when it comes to pack behavior, I really can speak on it. So it was just natural. Cull the weak. C-U-L-L. Look it up. Cull the weak. Take down the weak. And for that second, I was the weak one. All right? Once I asserted myself and said, this ain't happening. Not today. They were like, okay, kidding. Now, fast forward to the other day. Let's talk about dogs. Let's talk about dogs that you would never expect anything to happen. Coonhounds. People that know me know that I have a lot of coonhounds now at my house. And I basically have my main group. I call it Jethro's gang. There's, I think, 6 in his gang, okay? They're all blue tick coonhounds, been together for years, okay? And then I have some miscellaneous ones that are newer, that are not a part of that gang, that pack. 2 in particular, Bondurant and Dixon. Those are my 2 newest blue ticks. Bondurant is your quintessential coonhound. Goofy, happy-go-lucky, loves everybody he meets. Human and dog. Wants to be everybody's friend. Dixon, on the other hand, I felt it when I got him. He was a little stoic. Big boy. Not really into the other dogs. I saw it right away. And I said, you know what? You're going to have to go in a home as an only dog. I can see it. But you know, as he has been here for a while, he's comfortable around them. He doesn't freeze up, doesn't tense up as much. Okay. My normal routine is I have a back, I'll call it my back house, my back kennel area. I take the dogs up through the swamp on the walkway up to their kennel area where they can be loose and have a great time. Watch, look at the lake, have a great time. Like I said, I get Jethro's gang up there first. Okay. And they're behind a gate. And then I walk Dixon and Bondurant up together. And I'm going to go through the gate and I'm going to take them all into their kennels. I've been doing it every day for I don't know how long. And because Jethro's gang, I've had him for so long, I can, like, get back, behave. Yeah, Dixon gets a little tense, but yeah, he pushes his way through them. It's a great thing about coonhounds. They're normally very dog friendly. But on this particular day, there was something different because I had an employee who doesn't come up here that often. She was up there that day to help me. So the dynamics were already different. I could see it in the dogs, how they were acting. They were jacked up. They were excited. All right. I bring Dixon and Bondurant up, open the gate, push my way into Jethro's gang. And Hoosier, who's normally very dog friendly, I see him tense up and I'm like, oh no. And he just lokes up on Dixon. Excuse me, Dixon. Bondurant, the most submissive of all of them. And poor Bondurant doesn't even know what's going on. He's like, hey guys. As soon as he tenses up Hoosier, Dixon then joins in. And next thing you know, 2 dogs who are not even friends go to pack up on poor little Bondurant. Now I yelled and Debbie grabbed Hoosier by the collar before anything happened. And I got, Dixon on a leash and pulled him back. And they just kept trying to get to Bondurant. And poor little Bondurant, he's just like, hey, I'm here to play, everybody. My point is, these dogs can sense the weak. They can. And whether or not those 2 pit bulls that Clipper tried to handle were friends, at that point, they became one unit. Because Clifford was on the ground. He was vulnerable. So that's probably what happened. I don't know. Nothing to do with the breed. The only thing that might be different is that pit bulls are very strong. That I will give them that. Okay, they're very strong. But I just gave you an example of coonhounds who are friendly with everybody, and they just displayed the same behavior towards a dog. But hey, who knows what would have happened if I would have fell down and got in the middle of it. It's called normal behavior. Okay? So, what can we do to prevent this, or maybe, things that can happen that, might help in the future? And again, this is 100% no dig at Second Chance. For us, we kennel each dog separately. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that everybody can do that. Don't get me wrong. Like, I get it. You run out of space, you got to do what you got to do. So again, no dig at this rescue. Okay? Because, hey, it could have been one dog that attacked him, But I'm just saying, we kennel our dogs separately. Another thing that I have done, which my employees do, I'm telling you, they slack off on this one, is we try to maintain a calmness throughout our kennel area. You'll constantly hear us go, hey, knock it up, knock it up. Because if you allow the dogs to constantly rage when something does happen, the humans go like, they're just barking. They bark to bark. And I've actually had to correct some of my employees on this, where I'm like, what's going on back there? And they're like, they're just barking. I'm like, no. That is not normal barking. No, go back there. So when something does pop off, it's like, oh, crap, something's going on. Because I'm sure other dogs were probably raging, while this was happening. I'm just assuming. A few years ago, I bought my employees these little pocket alarms where you pull the pin out and they are loud as you know what. You can hear them a mile away, so that it would let us know something was happening. Of course, my employees don't carry them, They just, who knows, I try, okay? I'm going to admit that. But these little pocket alarms, they clip on your belt loop, they clip on your pocket. Air horns, carry one on your, on a little wherever. The great thing about the air horns or the little pocket alarms is that there's a chance that you might scare the dog off. And it also alerts people there's something happening. If you want to go extreme, this is extreme, you can get these little mini tasers. Yeah, I know. Which in this case probably would have been very helpful, but sometimes not. But I think the alarms are the best, but I don't know how fast anybody got to Clifford. I don't know. Like I said, we had a similar incident happen to us many years ago. The reason we got to our worker quickly was that our dogs were always kept in check. We didn't allow the barking and the raging all the time. So when we did hear raging and chaos, we knew something was up. Took us a minute to figure out where it was happening. But a lot of times you just look to your dogs, and we saw them all looking in this one direction, in this one kennel section, and we knew that's where it was happening. When you have 150 dogs, it takes a minute to figure out where it's at. So yeah, this is so sad, and I'm so sorry this happened. He looks like such a sweet man. And again, I am so sorry to Second Chance Animal Alliance. I am just heartbroken for you guys also. And I hope anybody who has a kennel or has a rescue or has a shelter, just a couple of my suggestions may help in the future. Unfortunately, when you have certain jobs, careers, things can happen. If you're a fireman, chances are you might get burnt. If you're a police officer, chances are you might get into an altercation with somebody. you know, I will say this, to the pit bull haters who want to blame this on a breed of dog. And I'm going to leave you with a question, and then you can think about it. We are known for being the largest pit bull rescue probably in the world. Okay? And I'm going to knock on wood when I say this to you and when I ask you this. If the breed is so dangerous, then wouldn't you think that myself, my family, or my workers would have been missing all their limbs by now? Interesting, right? Think about it.